Break. There you go. Get that stuff. Get it. What's out there? What's out there? Go get it. She's pretty. That's a good deal. Go get that. Good deal. Yeah. She has such less attitude than the other two. The other two have so much more like deep-rooted bitchiness.
Yes.
She's a sweet. This is a sweet dog. Look at that good girl. Look at that good girl. All right, we're gonna head back this way. I promise you, I'm not gonna hike you too far. That's my darling. Where's my honey? Good girl. That's my darling.
I love seeing this. Don't you love seeing that?
Yeah.
She looks good.
She's doing great. She's just learning the rules. Good. See? Good girl. Come on. Good girl. Sit. Stay. Nice work, darling. Shh. Good girl. That's nice. Just checking on you. Break. That's it. Go get it. Go get that stuff. What's it? Wait. Go get it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Go get it. Go get it. Yeah. Yeah. All right. You got a potty or what? You got a potty? Yeah. 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 What's this? What's this? What's this? Go get it. Yeah. 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 We're not gonna go down here, though.
Oh, it's okay.
Just a little bit.
I feel so grateful we've had such a nice run of weather.
It's been amazing. It's been perfect. Well, this is that perfect time of year.
It's usually a little colder though.
It is. It's been a little warm. It's usually got a crispness to it, but
Yeah.
it's still warm enough to be in like a t-shirt. It's just cool enough to, like in the evenings and the mornings, to be in a long sleeve like this. So this dog's changed a lot. I'm just noticing it today. I'm bringing her out, you know. She's more wants to interact with me than anything else, which is cool. I'm still going to teach her to go out though and explore on her free time, but she'd rather interact with me. But that's a good start. It's a good start.
She disappeared on their last hike for a good 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's scary.
It is. I've had that happen to me.
I have too. Break. Yeah, that's scary. Luckily, that's why we do the tone recall here, though.
Mm-hmm.
And we can control, the cool part about this is we can control how far she goes. So the terrain's gonna change. If you're on a hiking trail and it's wide open and there's nobody around, I'll give her full length. I like them to go maybe like 30 feet. That's about it, you know? I don't need them to go any further. I don't want to see her going around the bend as I'm right here, you know, that's too far away. But as we get somewhere where there's more people and stuff, then I might make that circle a little smaller, start asking her to stay within 10 feet, which is simply, she goes out 10 feet and I just give her a little correction, suggest she comes back, pat her on the head, let her back out. She'll learn that. And then when I have to make it real tight, I hit that beep and I get her right here in heel, and we go past dogs and people and all the stuff we need to go past until we can let her free again when it's appropriate to let her free. The thing is, you don't really want to, like, I'm not going to let my dogs completely free as I walk by a shit ton of people and dogs. You know, it's disrespectful to them. I want my dogs to know when you see people and dogs, get close to me because we're ignoring them and we're going by. Right? We're not going to say hi or anything. God, no, we're not going to say hi. Break.
Woo, good girl.
Okay, we're going to head back to the road, and once we get to the road, I'm going to ask her to be with me. Another thing is all the check-ins she's doing. The check-in is when she looks to see where I am in comparison to her. So she's seeing how far away am I, where is he, what's he doing, what direction is he going in, because she's still following me even though she's free. She could be out ahead of me, she's still following me, so she's giving me enough check-ins. Now if I start to see her really lose it and now she's not looking at me at all, she doesn't care where I am, then I can always recall her. Get her back into the group to remind her, hey, we can still do this. I can still recall you. And then let her back out. I just don't see her doing it because the style of how we're living with her is she's allowed to make a bad choice. I know this is hard to do when you're an owner and not a trainer, but she's allowed to do anything really. She can run away right now if she wanted to. I'm not hanging on to the leash, you know. She could do any of the behavioral choices she wants, but I'm going to correct her and then direct her, right? This is important. It sounds so simple, but correct and then direct. The correction is the e-collar correction. The direction is the command. So it could be the beep on here, which means to recall, or to heel if I'm walking. Or it could be anything. It could be go to place. But I'm correcting first for the bad choice. So if I see her going out there and then she starts to chew on something, I'm not going to say a word. I'm just going to correct her for chewing on the thing I don't want her to chew on, and then direct her, which I could recall if I needed to, or I could just tell her to out and get away. But the correction happens before any hot air or any word comes out of your mouth. That will, if you're wondering why you're struggling with your dogs, you're probably talking too much, right? You're probably giving them a warning. Every time they do something wrong, you tell them to stop first, and then if they don't, you might half-ass a correction. I'm saying just people in general. Don't give the dog a warning. If the dog's in the living room and somebody knocks on the door and the dog rushes to the door, don't tell the dog to place. Don't tell the dog to come. Correct the dog for rushing the door and then tell it to go to place. See, that's the difference, right? Like these dogs in here that are barking, they're being told not to bark. I'm sure nobody wants them to bark, but nobody's actually. You're better off just saying nothing and correcting the dog while it's doing the behavior you don't want. Science says that means that behavior will happen less. So let's use the science, okay? So with a dog like this, doesn't pay attention outside, runs away. The reason why she's paying attention is because I'm not going to give her warnings. She goes and does something I think silly. I simply correct her and then direct her. And we just keep on going that way. So she doesn't get any warning from me. And her way of coping with that is to try to do the things she thinks I like based off from the last time we were in that situation, right? So if we see people and dogs coming up, and last time I corrected her for going up on them and then recalled her, she's going to try to do the thing that escapes the consequence, which means the thing that she thinks I like, right? So you'll see dogs literally put themselves in heel when they see dogs and people because they know that's what this handler likes around the situation, and we just agree with them, you know? So, but she was allowed to go up on them the first time. She got corrected, recalled, and we rinsed and repeated until the dog didn't want to go up on people and dogs anymore. They'd rather stay with us, you know? And so we don't want her to think that it's fun to go up on strangers. Okay, so I'm gonna give her a little bit of work here. Good girl. See, she wasn't in the command, but she was following still. And she's in the state of mind now where she just really wants to do what's right. So that's a state of mind that we can really teach in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach her that when I give you the command heel, which she is familiar with loosely, you can see she's still learning it, but she's getting it pretty well. She'd guess right at this point. I'm going to put her in heel, and then Julie, when I tell her to, is going to baby talk. And that baby talk is going to simulate a stranger And what you're going to see is the dog usually will leave their command to go over to the thing that sounds fun, which is just a human saying, ah, because that means petting, that means food, that means whatever it means because of what they were taught in the past. They go to leave you, they get corrected and then directed, which means recalled back to this position until the dog understands that even when you see something you want, such as a person talking to you or a dog or whatever, you can't leave your command. How are we teaching them that? We're proving it to them. Then when I stop and release the dog by saying break, she's allowed to go up on Julie when I tell her she can. And that's how she's gonna know the difference, okay? Heel. Now you wait until I cue you. Okay, now walk parallel to me if you can.
Oh, so cute.
So that was correction, direction, correction, direction. It was stem, beep, beep, right? Meaning no, come, no, come. And she gets over here, good girl. But I'm not restraining her. She's allowed to. It's just the pressure's gonna get hotter as she gets further away from me. Or as she takes, the longer she takes to solve the problem, if I feel like she's not trying, I can up the pressure a little bit. On the e-collar, which ups the motivation of her to solve the problem. She's conditioned to the e-collar, so she knows that stim means she's doing something wrong and she needs to remedy it. She looks at me, she turned around, she looked at me, I did this, she got the answer, she came over, it turned off. That's obvious, what I just made it very obvious, right? Look, there's the e-collar stem. Good, it turns off when she gets here and she gets a good girl. So it's so clear to her what I'm asking her to do, so there's no confusion, so it's a lot easier to train. Okay, let's try again.
Hey,
the pressure's on.
Cute.
Good girl. And she's learning the mechanics of when I mess up. We're doing this before we go out to the real world. We're teaching her the mechanics of when you mess up, this is what happens. You feel the stem, and in order to turn it off, you come back here. So now the dog understands that. They understand that, so now we can just start proofing this command until the dog generalizes it with everything. They understand they can't leave the position until they're released. When I release her, she's free to. Right? That was a correction. She started to pick up and go. Right? One more time.
Oh, so cute.
It's still on. And then still on. She's looking. I gave her the answer. It's off. It's just, and we are consistent, and we keep doing this until the dog understands, without a doubt, how to get back to this position after they mess up, and more importantly, to stop messing up, to stop falling for the bait, and what we call a trigger. Julie's triggering her to leave the command, and I control the trigger. So I said, Julie, go. Okay, I thought I controlled it. Julie, go.
Oh, he's so cute. She's a good girl. Oh.
Still a couple beeps.
Oh.
The answer's on my hand.
It's also teaching her to think through pressure.
Yes. Yep. It's a great exercise. It's an easy way to get a trigger to get the dog to mess up. We have control of that, plus we have control over the aversive, and we have control over the reward, so now we can shape the behavior. So these are called setups. We're setting the situation up so we can teach her. We're not doing it in real life where an actual stranger is doing it for the first time. We're teaching her the mechanics of this. Pressure's on. Pressure's on. And up. So she gets to explore it. This is her first time really doing it like this. I started to teach her the mechanics of the heel, but I hadn't thrown her for a loop by adding in triggers yet. Now we are. Good. I turn around, head back towards the house. Now I'm not using the leash right now, but I do use the leash after these sessions like this. See how she's kind of like, she's hanging around in the heel area, but it's not perfect. Once we have this session done under our belt, then I can pick up the leash, or even towards the end of this session, and start using the leash as well. So you see the leg, as soon as she can't see the leg is when the pressure turns on. If she can see my leg, it doesn't turn on. So I'm proving that by fading like this and then turning the pressure back on when she stalls and my leg comes back out into her vision, like this. Good. Okay, it's very clear. Another layer to make it even clearer is to snap. I use the snap for correction early on, so I can come in and I can do that. Right? Do that at your own discretion though. Dogs do bite. I don't know what kind of dog you're working with. Right? And then the beep tells her that's not a stationary. I'm just telling you, do not pass this. So it's just back and forth. We're literally talking about the boundary through actions, not through, you know, I'll mark by saying good girl, that's good. And I can mark by saying shush, which is my way of saying no, that's not right. But I'm not explaining, I'm not saying if you stay behind my leg, then that's where you need to be. And every time you go out, you're gonna get I can't say that to her, I can only show that to her, okay? Good.
Aww.
Good. So see, I'm praising. Good.
Can I
and marking.
pet her?
Good.
Aww.
Good. See, this is the rep where she's starting to make the choice of what's most comfortable. Staying in the command is most comfortable. And she's seeing that I'm petting her and saying that's what I like. So now it clicks. She's starting to click.
Aww. Oh, she's so cute.
No correction. There's the correction.
So cute.
Very clear, right? Is that not clear as day? As soon as she says, I'm out of here, boom, it turns on. That's when it turned on.
Then her heel gets sloppy because she's splitting her brain.
Right.
And then she learns to think under pressure.
Yes. She'll get more experience with all this.
Oh, he's so cute. Aww. I love her color.
Isn't she gorgeous?
Aww. She's so cute. Oh, hey. Hey.
Okay, sit. Okay, now we got to clear up this here. We're clearing up her understanding. Keep baby talking.
Oh, he's so sweet. Oh, you are adorable. Oh, hi.
Break.
Hi.
Good girl. Go say hi.
Hi,
Good
baby.
girl.
She's soft.
Yeah, she's a good girl.
She's
isn't
so
she?
soft.
Good girl.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Oh my gosh, she's so soft.
She's very soft.
Wow.
And she's very sweet.
You are so sweet.
Yeah, she's an opportunist though, and she's independent. That's why she's here. She was her own pack, and the humans were there to do things for her. So not in a mean way. She wasn't, as far as I understand, she wasn't a bitch. She was just like, I do what I do, and I do it when I want to do it. And so she's becoming a pack member and a follower, which is can be a tough pill to swallow for any dog, because that means that they're giving up a certain amount of their free will. They really are, which they have to if they want to live successfully in the modern human world. This isn't a dog's world. If it was a dog's world and we were living in the wild and there was no mortgage or bills to pay, do whatever you want. But we have a nice living room and we have guests over and we have a mortgage and we have all this stuff. We have a life going on. You got to fit in. We have rules. You got to have rules. Okay? So it further domesticates them. It gets them to be even more, have even a tighter understanding of what is proper etiquette around humans and in the human world. Okay? Good. If a stranger, if we're walking by and a complete stranger who I don't know and don't care to know says, "Oh my God, you're so cute," don't pull me over to that person. You know? Follow me. I'm saying, yeah, and I'm walking by. Smile, you know, do what you gotta do. But we're not stopping, we're not going over to say hi to this lady. Break.
That's a good dog. You did well, real good.
Very smart, and that's a whole experience for her. You know, we're gonna let that one really sink in, let her rest on it, and then when we come out, we're gonna repeat this same scenario tomorrow in the same session, and watch how she's learned overnight. It's nice to let them sleep on it, and then check in, give a similar situation, and see how they've grown and they understand. Okay. So we do experience stacking. We have an experience, we put the dog away, we take him back out, we have an experience, and we keep doing that until we have the dog's belief system where it needs to be. Let's go, baby.